We are breaking down the Seahawks-Rams single-game showdown for DraftKings and FanDuel, and we are centering our pool around ceiling, ownership leverage, and matchup context so you know exactly why these plays make sense. We are starting at captain with Jackson Smith-Njigba at a dash rank of 95 and a projection of 21, facing the Rams, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall by opponent rank at 11. We love the blend of ceiling and moderate ownership at about 39%, and the recent form tells the story, with 21 and 28 and 2 of the last three. We are also factoring in the attention he is getting in national coverage, like Essentially Sports noting they nearly nailed his projection in their Week 12 WR Rankings article. And another feature asking, can the Falcons stop Jackson Smith-Njigba, which signals he is a focal point for defensive game plans. That kind of attention usually tracks with stable usage and spike week potential, so we are comfortable making him our top captain. We are adding Sam Darnold as a captain pivot with a dash rank of 83 and a projection of 16 against a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. Ownership is trending near 50%, which is high for a QB in a single-game slate, but we still like the floor-ceiling combo with stacking flexibility. The Week 16 start-sit advice piece from Essentially Sports that highlighted Sam Darnold is another signal that analysts view him as viable when the matchup is not prohibitive, and this spot grades out neutral by opponent rank. We prefer him as a flex in most builds, but he is viable as a game script captain if you believe Seattle pushes pace through the air. We are using Kyren Williams as a leverage captain in large field builds. The dash rank is just 50, and the Seahawks present a tough defense overall by opponent rank at 2, which is exactly why we like the leverage at roughly 22% ownership. Recent production is strong at 22, 18, and 13, and multiple outlets have covered how the Rams are running the ball better than any team over the last 20 years, which supports a high-efficiency ground script even in tough matchups. If the Rams control tempo, Kieran can vault past the passing chalk. We are locking Jackson Smith-Njigba in flex as well when we do not captain him, leveraging his 24 fantasy points per game and recent spike weeks with that strong dash rank. The combination of median projection and ceiling makes him the optimal bring-back or stack anchor in most constructions. We are pairing Sam Darnold with at least one pass catcher. A.J. Barner projects at 9 with a dash rank of 51 and ownership around 36% after a steady 6, 6, and 8 in his recent games, which gives us a reasonably priced stacking partner that fits balanced builds. If you want access to more volatility and a lower salary tier, Rashid Shaheed is in play at a dash rank of 74, with a 9-point projection, 12 and 17 in 2 of his last 3, and ownership near 20%. The Seahawks recently acquired Shaheed per multiple reports, including the trade coverage from Essentially Sports and the follow-up on his season record play against the Falcons. And that speed profile creates slate-breaking upside on a single touch. We are treating Cooper Kupp as a mid-tier GPP play at a dash rank of 78 with an 8-point projection and ownership around 23% against a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. The recent 10 and 12 show life and the Sam Darnold addresses, Cooper Kupp's milestone piece from Essentially Sports hints at chemistry and priority in milestone or red zone sequences. We prefer him in builds that fade Kyren, betting on a Rams pass heavy script. We are very interested in Colby Parkinson at tight end with a dash rank of 77, a 9-point projection, and 25 and 12 in his last 2. The matchup is tough overall by opponent rank at 2, but we like the red zone role and recent volume. The Lions game recap noting Matthew Stafford at 24 completions through 3 quarters reinforces that the Rams have no issue leaning into quick game concepts that feed the tight end. We are playing Jason Myers as one of our favorite floor pieces. He projects for 9 with ownership near 24% and has posted 24, 14, and 19. in his last three, with Seattle facing a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. We like the correlation when we expect yards to translate into field goals more than touchdowns. If you are playing for a slog, Harrison Mevis on the Rams at an 8-point projection and about 26% ownership also fits, especially paired with Kyron or the Rams defense. We are sprinkling the Rams defense around 17% ownership with a 6-point projection as a leverage play against the Darnold chalk. Opponent rank indicates a middle-of-the-pack defense overall on the other side, but defenses score on mistakes and short fields, and this gives us a path to beat Darnold lineups. We will keep Seahawks defense as a secondary leverage piece in builds that fade Kyron and the Rams pass catchers. We are including Blake Corum as an RB2 leverage dart with a 7-point projection and 19% ownership. The recent 29 and 14 show a touchdown-driven ceiling, and he correlates well with Rams defense or Mevis in game scripts where Seattle's tough defense overall forces field goals and goal line attempts. We are taking a few thin punts. Jake Bobo is a pure salary relief option at near minimum with projected low usage, but enough role to be on the field. And the recent coverage that if there is a better fourth wide receiver than Jake Bobo we are not familiar with him reminds us he can be efficient on limited opportunities. Used sparingly, but he opens elite captain builds. We are fading Jimmy Garoppolo. The projection is at 0 with no ownership. The Seahawks defense is a tough defense overall by opponent rank, and the recent rumor cycle around the Rams potentially moving on from Jimmy G per Essentially Sports makes the role too uncertain to justify even as a punt in this slate. We are building around these rules of engagement. We captain Jackson Smith and Jigba most often, rotate Kyron Williams and Sam Darnold in large field pivots, stack Darnold with A.J. Barner or Rashid Shaheed, and round out with Jason Myers, Colby Parkinson, and one of the kickers or a defense depending on game script. We leverage Cooper Kupp as a mid-tier contrarian in Rams pass-heavy builds, and we keep Blake Corum as a touchdown variance play. We are closing with the ownership plan. We are comfortable eating the Darnold chalk near 50% when we captain JSN. We are embracing the 39% on JSN, given the dash rank and projection advantage, and we are seeking leverage with Kieran around 22% and Parkinson in the low 30s. That mix keeps us live for both median outcomes and slate-breaking ceilings in this Seahawks-Rams showdown.